Welcome to Asian English News Bulletin. This is Syed Mahir Zaman Mukhar with our top stories of the day. The United Kingdom chapter of Bangladesh Awami League has received Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina when she arrived in London. Leaders and activists of UK Awami League received the Prime Minister with a bouquet at her place of residence in London. The Premier is now on an official tour to the United Kingdom and the United States to join the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II and the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly. On September 18th, the Premier will attend the reception programme for the head of the government hosted by the King of the UK at Buckingham Palace. On September 19th, she will attend the state funeral of the late Queen Elizabeth II at Westminster Abbey. In the evening, the Prime Minister is scheduled to depart London for New York. BNP will hold a protest rally and demonstration across the country on September 18th. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said in a press conference at the BNP chairperson's political office in Gulshan today, in protest against the attack on the rally in Mirpur yesterday and the attack across the country. Protests and demonstrations will be held in all metropolitan and district Upazila levels, including Dhaka. Jatiya Party is not in the alliance of Awami League. The time has not yet come to decide whether it will be in any alliance in the next election, said the party chairman G.M. Kabe. He said this at the conference of the National Hindu Mahajot at Mahanagar Natyamancha in the capital this morning. Jatiya Party chairman said EVM is a peaceful machine of vote rigging. Jatiya Party has always worked for the country and will continue to work in the future, he added. Mirpur Pallavi correspondent of Asian Television Ershad Hossain died of dengue fever. Chairman of Asian Group and Asian Television Alhaj Rashid CIB expressed grief over his death. Ershad Hossain died while undergoing treatment in a hospital in the capital. Later, his body was taken to his village home, Magura. He will be buried in the family cemetery after the funeral. Earlier, last Sunday, he was admitted to Sohrawardi Medical College Hospital in the capital. Later, when the condition worsened, he was admitted to a private hospital in Dhanmondi on Wednesday night. He died there in the early morning. Going to the internationals, Taiwan said ties between Russia and China were a threat to global peace and that the international community must resist the expansion of authoritarianism. Russia's Vladimir Putin met Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping for their first face-to-face talks since the start of the conflict in Ukraine on Thursday, hailing their strategic ties in defiance of the West. In the Uzbek city of Samarkand, Xi told Putin he was willing to make efforts with Russia to assume the role of great powers, reiterated Russia's support for China's claim over self-ruled Taiwan, which Beijing regards as its own territory and has vowed to one day seize. China's President Xi Jinping also met his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan on Friday, urging political mutual trust. Now sports. Bangladesh stormed into the final of the SAF Women's Championship for the second time in their history by thrashing Bhutan 8-0 in the semi-final at the Rangasala Stadium in Kathmandu, Nepal. Bangladesh captain Sabina Khatun scored a hat-trick while Siraj Jahan, Krishna Rani, Rituparna Chakma, Masura Parveen and Tahura Khatun scored one each to ensure a dominant victory for Bangladesh. In the 30th minute, Krishna Rani Sarkar's header made it 3-0 for Bangladesh. 5 minutes later, Rituparna scored from a rebound to make sure Bangladesh goes into half-time leading by 4-0. Bangladesh put the final nail in Bhutan's coffin in the added time when Sabina completed her hat-trick. Earlier, Bangladesh defeated the Maldives, Pakistan and India to book a spot in the semi-final as Group A champions. Bangladesh will now play the final on 19 September against the winner of the second semi-final between India and Nepal. This is it for now. Stay tuned with Asian English News Bulletin and visit www.asiantv.bd.com. Take care.